sounds like bring out guests, make them
But
mad
he's just
at
like,
you.
I'm a doctor.
Right.
So everybody's like, okay, cool.
I'm a doctor. It says so on the back of this placemat I wrote it on with crayon at Denny's. Like,
Hey, guess what? I'm a doctor too. Dr. Ashley. Y'all sick?
I just announced it.
You got cancer, schizophrenia? Come to me. Yeah, I got answers. That would make me a cult leader, you guys, and that's what makes me not one.
Because you don't call yourself doctor, there are a lot of other things.
And other reasons, but that's one of them.
That is so fucked up. It's fucked up. So fucked up. It is just so damn fucked up. That's fucked up.
Hi, Fallon. Hi, listeners, cultlings.
Hi.
Usually, Fallon and I chat for like 30 minutes before we press record. Then we chat for another 10 to 15 minutes before we dive into the episode. So today we were like, well, why don't we just press record immediately and see what happens? And I think probably we're just, going to save some time. Maybe. We'll see. I say that and then... right.
Here we go.
Okay, you guys, welcome back to the podcast. This is That's So Fucked Up, a podcast. You know what, you guys, I'm still working on it. This is That's So Fucked Up, a comedy podcast about cults, crimes, and other things that make you say it with me, Fallon. Ugh. That's so fucked up.
That's so
hopefully one day we'll do
up.
a live show and we'll get to all say that as like a troupe, and it'll be fucking dope. You guys, speaking of live shows, you could come see us live this July at the True Crime and Paranormal Podcast Festival. It's in July 12th to July 14th, 2024. And it's in Denver, Colorado. So you guys, me and Fallon are going to be there. And then a few of our friends of the podcast who help out with all sorts of things from research to just general hypeness. So,
and moral support.
yeah, which y'all, I need a lot of. So come visit us there. We might be doing a live show. If not, we'll be hanging out and you could come say hi. There's going to be a lot of other really cool podcasts there, you guys. Some really big ones. Very looking forward to it. A friend of ours, Kristen Seavey from Murder, She Told. Kristen and I have been friends since we both started our podcasts 4 years ago.
Whoa.
But she's from Maine and I've never met her in person. So I'm so excited.
Yeah, that's going to be so fun. This will be my first podcast con. And
Me too.
I'm so excited.
I've never even gone as a guest.
Me neither. So I'm like pretty stoked.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty wild, you guys. So go to truecrimepodcastfestival.com to buy tickets. Yeah. So we said the name of the show and what it was about.
Mm-hmm.
Our names, your hosts, we are Ashley Love Richards
And Fallon Morey.
and today we are talking about, first of all, because this is a litigious person, these are all my opinions when I say this dude is a douche fuck who should take a canoe to the middle of the ocean. That's my opinion.
It's oddly specific way to punish yourself.
You know what? You know what I think of the ocean.
Oh, yeah,
And
you
being
don't
in the
like
middle
the
of it.
ocean.
It's the worst scenario. And I, allegedly, let's just throw a big one of those at the top and I'll sprinkle some in throughout because we are talking about Dr. Motherfucking Phil. You guys, I don't know if you know, but we just very recently, literally yesterday, and if you're listening as a patron, then, well, I don't know, you guys, time. But anyways, April 18th is our 4-year anniversary.
Woo.
And this episode is coming out on April 19th to our regular listeners and coming out on the 16th to our patrons. So happy 4-year anniversary. That's so fucked up.
Wow.
Yay.
Yay.
And I think maybe what I'm even more excited to report is happy 1 million downloads. You guys,
Stop it.
that's you.
Oof.
I didn't do that. Fallon didn't do that. You guys listened.
Yeah.
We babbled, and I just for 4 years have been talking your ear off, whether you like it or not. And you've been listening. And it warms my heart, you guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah, we're so excited. I definitely didn't do it. I have downloaded each episode, I promise, once, not the 999,999 other times. So it definitely wasn't Fallon or Ashley.
I mean, you had your hand in it. You
Yeah.
definitely downloaded some episode. It's a group effort.
Yeah, for sure. So thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. There is a lot of episodes, but it still takes a lot of people to get to 1 million.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh my God. Also, there's this dress that I really want that is like way more than I think you should ever spend on a single item of clothing. But I don't want to say the price because I feel like that price could vary for people, very much so depending. But it's more generally than I would think. Yeah, that's okay to buy for something that you'll probably wear once.
Yeah.
Well, a few times. But I was like, okay, I can get it for my birthday in July. But I just realized that instead I'm going to get it for my 4-year podcast anniversary.
Well, there you go.
I get to get it way sooner. Yay! Happy anniversary to me. Excellent. You guys, on our 4-year anniversary, 182 episodes of just TSFU. We have like 450 plus episodes in general. But today we're talking about Dr. fucking Phil McGraw. Stupid.
Oh, that's his last name?
Yeah. Oh, you didn't know?
No.
It's not just Phil.
I thought Phil was his last name. He's Doctor is his first name.
Yeah, I thought his first name was Doctor.
I had to lighten up the thread a little bit there.
Well, it might as well be because
Nobody else knows.
he's not a doctor. Like, you can't put an official DR in front of his name.
Anymore, right?
Not since 2006, homegirl.
Woof. It's been a minute.
Yeah, since he was a licensed anything except for douchebag.
Do you have to have a license to be a douchebag?
No, I just thought it would be just like better to call him a licensed douchebag than anything else.
You get your certificate from the Ministry of Douchebags. You just go in there.
Dude, he's a teacher.
I know.
He grew up in the school of hard knock douchebaggery. But really, let's talk about how he did grow up, which is about one sentence, because I was like, fuck this guy. Who cares?
I am. Wait. Before we start, if you're listening, I'd encourage you to go to our website, tsfuthepodcast.com, click play with us. I'm going to be playing Fucked Up Bingo today. So I would encourage you to join in and see if we can light up a bingo.
I'm also going to be going to tsfuthepodcast.com and playing Fucked Up Bingo.
While you talk?
Well, I generally forget to play bingo because I'm talking, but it's cool. It's cool to have up anyways. Just,
Yeah.
What? Yeah, I want to play. You're trying to leave me out? Well, we'll see. I can't, when you know the story, you can't light up the bingo board with shit that hasn't arrived in the story yet. Okay. You know what? Let me make one quick comment before we start. And that is that, you guys, I have a hot mental health tip. Go to therapy, get fucking, vitamin D, take walks, all that shit. Also, like, maybe smoke some weed and watch YouTube, because it is an amazing way to just like completely zone out. I watch a couple of kids. They're in their mid-20s. Oh, they do like commentary videos, and they tell me about the just absolute garbage that's mostly happening on TikTok, but also the rest of the internet. And their names are Chad and Film Cooper, and they both have much bigger audiences than me. So they don't need me announcing them. This is more a favor for you guys. Okay, so are you ready to talk about this guy?
I'm so ready.
Are you ready to talk about Dr. Phil Fallon? Okay, we're going to bring out Dr. Fallon today. Okay, we're going to shame and humiliate her in front of the audience. Okay.
Please don't talk like that the whole time or I'll leave.
Oh my God. I can't do it longer. I'm tapped out. All right. So Dr. Philip Calvin McGraw, no, his name, he was not born with the first name Doctor, like we said. He was born in Oklahoma on September 1st, 1950. He went to the University of Tulsa and later transferred to the Midwestern University, where he graduated in 1975 with a BA in psychology, which he then got, this is fun, the next year, 1976, he got his master's in experimental psychology. I didn't even know that was a fucking thing. What the fuck is that?
That's what I was studying for when I was doing a master's. A lot of times a master's in psych, if it's like a nondescript, like non-specific type, will be in experimental psychology because they're supposed to teach you about like how to do experiments and analyze experiments. So that's actually pretty common.
Oh, I was like, what is that? Some witchcraft?
No, it's just all the same classes as regular psychology.
You know what, you guys, I'm sorry. I don't want to be making fun of anybody's accent except Dr. Phil. So I'm going to stop. He then got a PhD in clinical psychology in 1979. So he did at some point like get a degree. Okay. Or several. But mind you, his television show, Dr. Phil, started in 2002. He stopped being licensed in 2006. And when he started his show anyways, he had gotten his license 23 years ago. I think things change in medical fields over decades.
You have to do like continue your education as time goes by and learn new things. So he could have, but I don't think he's a...
Yeah, so who would call this guy a fucking doctor? Oh, Oprah. That's who, because she licks balls. Anywho, allegedly. That's an opinion. Okay. Everything, oh, rah, rah, Oprah. No, you guys, fuck Oprah, in my opinion.
That was intense.
Do you know about Oprah?
Not a lot. A little bit.
You know, she was like besties with Harvey Weinstein?
Nope.
Yeah, so like, I don't know exactly if they were besties, but they definitely had like a close friendship. And she met Dr. Phil and was like, you're the tits. I'm going to put you on the air. Everybody's like, oh, Oprah's like so amazing. Sorry, that's a no for me, dog. Anyways, yeah, no, it is a strong opinion because she's idolized so much. And I don't think that she's necessarily a great person. Anyways, though, this isn't about Oprah. This is about what I think about Dr. Phil, which is that I hate him. So, and trust me, as we get into the story, you're going to feel me. After college, he went to work at his father's private psychology practice in Texas. He met his wife, Robin, in 1976, and Robin was at every single taping of the Dr. Phil show.
Wow. That's some spouse support. That's great. Good for them. I wouldn't want to go to my husband's job with him every day, but that's just me.
More so, I think that she obviously then saw every episode that Dr. Phil did where he was mentally and emotionally abusive to like so many people, and then walked out and like smiled and clapped and held his hand. So actually good for them. I don't know. Sure. You sound like, I don't know, you're going to get mad. You don't seem mad yet, but it's going to happen.
There's nothing to be mad about, to be fair. Like, you've read it, but so far I've heard a guy went to college and he got his own TV show. Like, that's all I know.
He's the worst, okay? He's just like the worst.
And that's what I'm waiting for you to tell me.
Okay, I'm getting there. So his son, Jay, he has two sons, but only the oldest one has a Wikipedia. They're like, he has two sons, one, Jay. And it's like in blue because he has a Wikipedia.
Does his son really need a Wikipedia? How short must that article be?
Well, he's a writer and television producer and president and CEO of Stage 29, which he co-founded with Dr. Phil, his daddy. And Jay was the executive producer of the show The Doctors from 2008 to 2022. I don't know if you ever saw that show.
Oh, no.
Well, it was created by Dr. Phil as a show about medical advice for entertainment because the British Medical Journal determined that, quote, evidence supported that 63% contradicted 14%, and was not found for 24% of recommendations made by the panel of doctors, and that, quote, the public should be skeptical about recommendations made on medical talk shows. So basically, they're saying that only 63% of what they were recommending to their audience was actually evidence supported.
Oh.
Actually, 14% was contradicting the evidence was out there, but they were like, yeah, go get a fucking 6-hour coffee enema. That's
a great idea.
I mean, all the celebs are doing it. The host, like the main host, was Dr. Travis Stork.
Mm-hmm. That's not a real name.
Well, when he was in the middle of getting his doctorate, he was on The Bachelor.
Oh, really?
He was like so hunky.
Was he hunky?
So they were like, let's put the hunky doctor from The Bachelor on a medical TV show, talk show, and then just like kind of dole out advice in a way that's kind of like willy-nilly, just whether or not we like it or they're paying us to do so or whatever. You see him.
I see
He's
him.
good looking.
He's okay. I just love his description. Is an American television personality, an emergency physician. Like, how do you have time?
It's Dr. Phil and Dr. Travis are busy. They're busy guys, you know? Dr. Trav, you know?
Dr. Trav.
So he started these self-help seminars that are listed as being called both pathways and choices, both super just like, you know, very descriptive.
I have great suspicion of anything called some like nebulous one-word name, like come to our pathways program. Like that could be 6-hour bathtub enemas, or that could be like, you know, like trust circle exercises.
Yeah, pathways to what?
Pathways to what?
Set a pathway to like a gingerbread house that's not super germy, but real, that I can actually eat.
That sounds like the name of the seminar you go to that we've talked about where people pee on you, right?
Oh, are you talking about LGATs?
Yeah.
Or large group awareness trainings, which heavily inspired the troubled teen industry, which Dr. Phil is heavily influential on.
Woo! Yes.
Dr. Phil is a fucking TTI cheerleader. He's like,
oh,
rah, rah, send your kids there. Let's go.
Okay, now I'm extra mad already. There we go.
He's the devil. So, allegedly.
Nobody else gets to see your face going from like angry to super serious going allegedly.
And then like cracking up. So he teamed up with this lady named Thelma Box. Come on, Box. And his daddy to do these self-help seminars. You guys, I would just say be very wary of self-help seminars. Like not all of them, but just like really, really look into.
Mm-hmm.
Really Google the shit out of it. You know, Reddit can be a really mean place, but it's good for information.
Another crazy cult topic we'll have to handle at some point related to self-help seminars is Tony Robbins, because that shit is wild.
Dude, I saw a Tony Robbins Netflix special like a decade ago, and I was like, if I could afford that, I would so go to that. It's so crazy that the deepest I got into a cult was 4 years in AA. Girl, it is so wild that it did not get deeper than that. Like my mind is blown that I didn't.
Yeah, mine is too after talking to you for a year.
Honestly, though, I think like being economically unstable for most of my life has probably benefited me. I couldn't afford these seminars and classes, you know? I was like, I guess I'll just get an Eckhart Tolle fucking book on tape and try to figure it out myself. Roll the dice.
Yeah, that's better.
Let's get drunk. That wasn't better, but it was more affordable.
Right.
At the time. You guys, look, I don't recommend alcoholism. And if you need help, first of all, you can reach out to me straight up. Like if you say like, hey, I'm really struggling, I will answer you. I swear to God. But you know, you're not alone and there's no shame in it. And I just want to throw that out there because one thing Dr. Phil's super good at is shaming people with mental health issues and addiction issues, even though he's a, you know, a psychologist. So it's good.
Wild.
Also, be wary of language that says seminars, quote, empower people with the tools for people to live life to their fullest.
Live your best life.
Yeah. If anytime it's any version of live your best life, live it to the fullest, whatever, like get out of there. It's a scam.
Oh, Dr. Phil has also had MLM products that were like sold.
I couldn't verify it, so I didn't actually want to say that his wife's skincare line was an MLM. It has an interesting structure. Let's say that.
I think the company that produces Amway products from when we were doing our special in them actually produced some like pills for him that people could sell. And then they didn't work. So they had to they got sued. So they had to withdraw them from the market. Anyway, back to your timeline.
Okay. Well, actually, we're actually going to go back to that a little bit. But yeah, so I mean, I didn't substantiate anything in regards to MLMs, but it sounds like allegedly he could, have some involvement in those.
I'm going to giggle every time I hear the word allegedly.
Dude, I'm not trying to get sued. We're broke. Okay. You guys, patreon.com/TSFU. But we don't have money for that. So he sold his shares in 1991, shortly after he co-founded CSI with lawyer Gary Dobbs in 1990. And CSI stood for Courtroom Sciences, and they would pair with corporate legal departments and law firms and use, here's a buzzword, they would use data-based research and analysis, prediction, and behavior modification for client-centric solutions.
Oh, excellent.
So if you guys don't know why I was like, ooh, buzzword, behavior modification is what they, quote, do in troubled teen facilities. It's not abuse. It's behavior modification. It's super cute wording. But so Dr. Phil's been into the behavior modification game for decades.
Yeah.
So it's no surprise that he is an advocate of tortured teen facilities. You guys, if you didn't listen to our 3-parter on the program or watch the program on Netflix, which is so good, so good, highly recommend. Very fucking heavy though, big trigger warning. And if you're like, what are they talking about? Troubled teen industry. Please go back and listen to those. Or if you're like, that sounds like a lot, I did one too on Hell Camp, Teen Nightmare, which was about wilderness therapy, which is just one branch of the troubled teen industry where instead of locking them in a facility, they just make them hike through the desert for hundreds of miles in 100+ degree weather. It's fun. I need to do an episode at some point that's more of a kind of just coherent rundown of exactly what the troubled teen industry is, because I feel like I talk about it, but I've never fully explained it. I don't know. But anywho, he loves it. He's no longer affiliated with CSI. In 1995, he hooked up with Oprah. She got him for legal consulting through some firm that he was working for or owning, I don't know, when she was sued for libel by Texan cattle ranchers for over $10 million. This was during the mad cow disease era, and Oprah had stated, "The discussion has me stopped cold from eating another burger. I'm stopped." Apparently, this caused a dramatic drop in cattle prices.
To have that kind of power over beef. Such a big concept, beef.
Dr. Phil also had a huge, we'll talk about later, impact on the economy of Aruba when he told people to boycott it. So it is quite wild how much impact and how wide it can be with people as big as this. In 1998, the jury unanimously voted in her favor, and that year she began bringing Dr. Phil onto the show as a guest expert. And his segments were so popular and successful that he kept coming back and then had his own little weekly segment as a, quote, relationship and life strategy expert.
Oh.
Y'all, I'm sorry. Have you looked at this man's face or heard his voice? I don't want advice on anything from him because he looks and sounds like an actual piece of garbage that's on fire, in my opinion. I don't want it. I'd be like, you smell like burning rubbish, sir. Please.
Sir. I like this, sir. Like, that's very respectful after
Please
you've
remove yourself from my presence.
after you've said all of that to finish with sir.
Listen, I'm not an animal, Fallon. Okay.
I have manners. God.
Yeah, sometimes. Especially if I think like somebody's team just like might get a whiff of, slander and wanna.
I don't think that's going to be your fighting argument, is that you said, well, I ended the sentence with sir.
No, but I said allegedly, and in my opinion, so many times so far. That should be
That should be a bingo.
That should be a game, like a drinking game. But if you're like me and you don't drink, maybe you just like take a big sip of your coffee or take a shot of apple juice, whatever gets you horny,
Neither of those things. But
honestly, I've been listening to too much History I'd Like to Fuck with Dawn Brody.
Yes.
Y'all, we love Dawn.
Yeah.
And she's so funny. So he was so popular on Oprah that in 2002, she began producing the show for Dr. Phil called Dr. Phil. It is off air now, but it was on air for over 20 years. And Dr. Phil's now worth $460 million.
What?
For being a alleged piece of shit.
Oh.
Can I just say one time, like, that in my opinion, I hate him, and then just lawyers hit me up. Like, when does shit talking become illegal is what I would like to know.
And also, I think you don't even need to say, in your opinion, you hate him, because your opinioned many other horrible things about him, and I think we could already guess.
Okay. So, whatever. He sucks. He, like you mentioned earlier, in 2004, he was sued by 3 consumers who claimed that he defrauded people with his weight loss and diet supplement business, Shape Up. All of his businesses are like 1-2 words, very, what does nebulous mean? Because I was like, I get it, but I don't know like what it means.
It's like hard to define. Like it's
so exactly. Sort of. Shape Up. It's like, what does that mean? Yeah. So
Shape Up.
And this is in 2004. So $120 a month is more than it is now, and that's still a lot. So the plan called for $120 a month with 22 pills a day.
Wait, what? I'm sorry. You're supposed to take 22 pills a day?
Yeah, and pay $120 a month in 2004. Sir. The company stopped making them after they were under investigation. The label said contains scientifically researched levels of ingredients that can help you change your behavior and weight.
Your behavior?
And what is scientifically researched levels of ingredients?
I would hope that anything I'm putting in my body in medication form has been scientifically researched.
They're like, these ingredients are legit. They've been researched by scientists. Okay.
Yeah.
So.
They're backed by science, just in general.
Also, super cute. In emails found from Dr. Phil, he stated that he had, quote, no expertise in the pills that he endorsed and reached a $10.5 million settlement.
I'm not surprised, though, because remember, 2000 to like 2005 was that time period of like the heroin chic, like be as skinny as possible, super, super weight loss trendy thing going on. Like
Paris Hilton would eat a sandwich and they're like, is she pregnant?
Right.
That was terrible.
So I'm not terribly surprised that as he was trying to build up his like empire, he was hawking diet pills, because that's just what everyone was doing in 2004. It doesn't mean he's right. I just mean I'm not surprised that that's when he did it.
Also, might I remind you that it wasn't until 2008, but he also started the show The Doctors. So this man he does not have a current psychological doctorate or certificate of any sort, nor has he ever had any medical expertise or training.
No.
But yeah, let's put on a show called The Doctors and sell diet pills.
Yeah.
I might as well do that.
Yeah. Oh my God. And
with how much I know.
Before anybody goes, well, he was a doctor. Yeah. You don't prescribe medicine as a psychology PhD.
I feel like our listeners are like, you guys, we're all better than that, aren't we?
That's for new listeners. Because somebody out there is going to be like, I love Oprah and Dr. Phil.
I know. You guys, I'm telling you though, just like, don't shoot the messenger. Okay. Like, look into it. I promise. We have sources though. So, and I don't put shit that I can't verify, which is why I wasn't like, and he runs MLMs, because I couldn't. I was like, I could probably use my own discernment to decide, but I'd rather like have a concrete answer on the internet of somebody being like, yes, and here's why.
Yeah, that's true.
So where he tapes most of his show episodes, it's in California, where it's illegal to practice psychology without a license. But he says that he's merely advertising when on his website it states that he is the most well-known and trusted mental health professional. One of the most well-known and trusted mental health professionals in the world.
In the world?
In the whole world, Fallon. In the whole world, he's one of the most trusted. Even though he is unlicensed and has a history of abusive behavior towards staff and guests. But hey, that's merely advertising. Okay? So this is fun though. Do you remember in MK Ultra where the head of the APA, the American Psychological Association, was like some fucking monster who had been doing a bunch of crazy shit?
Yeah, I do.
So in 2006, I don't know if this is pre him not having his license anymore, but he received the Presidential Citation, which sounds bad, but I guess is a good thing, by the American Psychological Association. The award cited that, quote, his work touched more Americans than other psychologists.
Well, he was on TV, so.
Yeah, which I mean does give you a little bit of a leg up, right?
Right.
We might be touching more lives if we had like a bigger marketing budget,
Can I just say I really hate the expression touching because I don't like touching. So like when somebody's like he touched more people, like stop touching people. I hate that.
Stop it. Yeah, no, you're gross. He was in the number one spot in the genre. So like fucking this kind of bullshit daytime,
in the daytime
bullshit
psychology talk show host genre, he's number one. What is that? One of two?
Well, so I watched this video on YouTube. It was really great. It's linked in the sources, where she likened his show to shows like Maury, Tyra Banks, and Jerry Springer.
Oh yeah, that's how I've always thought of it when I've heard of it. Like it sounds like bring out guests, make them mad
but he's
at
just
you.
Like, I'm a doctor.
Right.
So everybody's like, okay, cool.
I'm a doctor. It says so on the back of this placemat I wrote it on with crayon at Denny's. Like,
hey, guess what? I'm a doctor too. Dr. Ashley. Y'all sick?
I just announced it.
You got cancer, schizophrenia? Come to me. Yeah, I got answers. That would make me a cult leader, you guys. And that's what makes me not one.
Because you don't call yourself doctor? There are a lot of other things.
And other reasons, but that's one of them.
I switched to cult bingo, by the way, for Dr. Phil.
Oh, okay. Cool. Well, there's so much happening. It's wild. So he was nominated for a shit ton of Emmys, but never won any.
Oh, really? Nominated for 30 and received 0.
I don't know if it was 30. I don't want to double count really quick, but it was a shit ton. He was nominated just for a lot of awards, but won 5 Prism Awards. What the fuck's a Prism Award? Have you heard of that?
No.
Hey, Fallon, I'm just buying a gown because I'm going to the Prism Awards tonight. Are you fucking jelly?
Let me look it up.
No, because you've never goddamn heard of it.
No. I want to know what they are. It's probably some daytime. I think there's a lot of them. The first one that came up is an annual international competition that honors the best new optics and photonics products in the market. That's probably not.
Hold on. No, that's it.
What?
Hold on. What?
No. There's a Prism Comic Awards. That's not him. The Prism Awards, a sign of excellence in your field. Never mind.
Yes.
For professionals in the building industry. No, there's about 55,000 Prism Awards, so that doesn't mean shit.
Loser. Okay, wait, hold on. Okay, listen. No, this is in building.
Yes,
in the
that's
building
what I mean.
industry.
There's like a lot of.
I don't even know what the fuck means that he's won a bunch of Prism Awards, you guys. But obviously, since we can't figure out what the fuck it is, it's not that prestigious.
Oh, hold on, I found it.
Okay, but still, if there's like 80 of them.
The annual Prism Awards honors the creative community for accurate portrayals of, this one will make you mad, substance abuse, addiction, and mental health and entertainment programming.
Accurate. They honor accurate portrayals.
Yeah, some of the ones that have been awarded are a little crazy. Some of them are good, but then like others have included The Office, Desperate Housewives, Pinky and the Brain, ER, Boston Legal, The Simpsons, Castle.
Wait, how do those accurately depict mental health?
So like it doesn't say.
I'm confused.
Like Pinky and the Brain had an episode about the dangers of cigarette smoking.
Did you ever watch that? I used to watch that.
The Simpsons had one about trying to quit drinking. And then there's like a bunch of other random ones, like movies and stuff.
So the Dr. Phil show turns mental health issues into entertainment. He looks for people who, have had intense issues in life with whether it be familial or mental health or addiction, whatever. He has a habit of berating, enabling, and chasing guests. So let's start with berating. Bailey, a 21-year-old, came on. She was on an episode called I'm in love with someone from social media that I've never met, which sounds like real high class psychological entertainment, if you ask me.
Right.
Bailey's 21. She's very sweet. She's been having an internet relationship that pretty clearly is the feelings aren't being reciprocated. And they tell her that her biological mom's going to be there. And she was like, well, I was told that she wouldn't be here and come on stage with me. And Dr. Phil's like, are you fucking kidding me, ho? Nobody tells me who the fuck's coming on my show. He mask off, flips out on her, is like, yeah, nobody tells me who's coming on my show. Bailey, I don't know where you got that information.
Whoa.
Who told you that? Oh, Stephanie, the producer? Stephanie wouldn't tell you that. You're a liar. Let's bring Stephanie out, you guys. Stephanie, the producer, comes out and is like, Bailey, I never guaranteed that. It is so uncomfortable to watch these two people in their 50s berate a 21-year-old who's obviously, I think, having some mental health issues because, there's a relationship, I guess, going on where, basically kind of appears to think they're in some sort of a relationship. And the girl said, don't talk to me directly. Don't contact me. I think she was some sort of maybe personality,
Yeah.
You can interact with my shit, but I don't know you.
Right.
What don't you understand about that?
Right. So not necessarily a personality, like one of those people that kind of delusionally thinks they're in a relationship with a celebrity because.
Oh, I meant the girl that she kind of thought was a personality and some sort of internet personality.
Yeah.
So yeah, she kind of definitely seemed to be having some delusions that their relationship was more than it was. So instead of helping her, he just hardcore humiliates her in front of the audience while they laugh and cheer as she's tearing up. It's so fucking intense, dude.
Ugh.
Swear to God, if Dr. Phil got up, in my opinion, and stabbed her, they still would have been laughing and cheering. It was insane. He goes up to the screen and with a little pointer underlines in red a message from the other girl that says, I don't know you. What don't you understand about that? Basically being like, bitch, you're fucking crazy. Don't you see that? Don't it was upsetting.
Wow.
Dog, it was upsetting to watch. He enables addicts. Several guests have stated that they've been given drugs and or alcohol. Todd Herzog, who is the winner of the 15th season of Survivor, it was very well known that he had been struggling with alcoholism and was newly sober. So they left a big old bottle of vodka in his dressing room. That's always a fun Sophie's choice for a newly sober alcoholic. Do I or don't I? For me, early in sobriety, it was like, shouldn't, but fuck it, YOLO. So the producers see that he's very drunk and give him a Xanax to calm down, which is A, not only very irresponsible and dangerous, B, he's never taken Xanax, and C, I feel like the right dosage could be lethal. I don't know. I don't know that for sure, but it's not safe.
If none of those producers are licensed doctors, then they're guilty, allegedly, of...
I don't think they are.
You know, distributing substances, like illegal substances to him.
Oh my God. Xanax is, yeah. You have to be a psychiatrist too.
You have to be a doctor to prescribe a medicine. You can't just carry around a pouch of it and be like, hey, doc, I'd like these to give out to people. That would be great. I need about 20.
It sounds like that was allegedly potentially going on, though, you know. So, dude, he is so visibly fucked up. He can't walk. They have to carry him onto the stage. If you were like a human show that like was like had a host with humanity and treated people like humans, you probably wouldn't put him on TV at that point, but they're like, come on, buddy, get up here. Then on stage in front of everyone, for no fucking reason, they give him a breathalyzer. But as of last year, when the video that I watched was made, Todd had been sober for 5 years. So just want to say congratulations to you, Todd.
Yeah.
Shout out. Fuck yeah.
Ugh, I'm surprised he didn't sue him.
Yeah, I mean, people have tried to sue, but it's always unsuccessful for the most part. So. Also, they had one guest buy heroin with the knowledge and support of staff, allegedly. Another guest who was pregnant at the time and also a heroin addict was going through withdrawals. So they filmed her while she was on Skid Row in LA searching for a dealer.
Wow. Ugh.
Also, they'll have a lot of people with addiction issues come on. They made up thousands of episodes over that couple of years. And, you know, they would often have the guests be in a hotel room for up to 2 days before being on the show. And withdrawal can generally be pretty fucking painful and dangerous. So they take these people and put them in a fucking hotel room alone for 2 days.
Ugh.
Which
is also something they do in the TTI that we heard about. Just dump a person in a room alone.
Yeah. No, he's just, I think he was like, TTI, I see what you're doing.
I like it.
I like it. I'm doing it too. Let's partner up. So there was a teenager named Mercedes Nichols who had been arrested for beating another teenager and filming it. The situation was a former cheerleader was taunted by this group of girls. They beat her so bad that she was left with a disfigured face and potentially damaged hearing.
Wow.
They threatened her, which seems insane, that they were going to put that video that they filmed of her happening that to her. They said they were going to put it on YouTube. I don't think they did. But essentially, one of the teenagers, Mercedes, was in jail. And because they wanted to interview her for some godforsaken reason, let's maybe interview the fucking victim and give them a voice, you fucking psychos.
Yeah.
They bailed her out of jail for $30,000.
What?
But when people found out about this, everyone was like, what the fuck? And then they canceled the episode about this gang of teenagers who had permanently disfigured this girl.
Wow.
Yeah. Speaking of chasing guests, you know, he was very well known for going to the hospital that Britney Spears was at when she had her very public mental health breakdown in 2007. He just showed up at the hospital uninvited, trying to get an interview.
Ew. Ugh.
The family responded with, quote, The family extended an invitation of trust for him to come in as a resource to support them, not to go out and make public statements. Any statement made publicly that he made because he was brought in under this cloak of trust is just inappropriate. He was not invited to make this part of a public display or part of the media. So he was offering them guidance and then turned it into content.
Of course.
And he has a long history of exploiting and bringing famous people onto his show. He brought on Shelley Duvall, who was, in The Shining.
Mm-hmm.
And it's pretty widely known that Stanley Kubrick, the director, fucking gnarly abused her on set.
Oh, yeah.
He was intensely verbally and mentally and emotionally abusive. He had the fucking entire cast and crew ignore her.
Mm-hmm.
She did not exist.
So that she would feel more isolated and then act like it in her portrayal of being this isolated woman. And also he used to make her do hundreds of takes of scenes over and over and hurt herself physically because.
And the scene where Jack Nicholson is coming through the door with the axe going, "Here's Johnny."
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't planned. Her terror is absolutely fucking real.
Yeah, he just told him to axe his way through the door and she had no idea what was happening to her.
Yeah, so in the movie, she's amazing performance because she was scared for her fucking life for motherfucking real. It's such a fucked story because then she publicly struggled with mental health issues for years and was out of the public eye. But then when she was, it was never in a great light, it was because some incident would happen. So he brings her on the show under the guise of helping her recover. And she says something about, people are out to get me, the people who work security and the nighttime people at the bank and stuff.
Oh, she's having actual delusions.
Yeah, she's obviously not mentally well. She talks about how Robin Williams is not dead and he's actually a shapeshifter. In response, this fuck tit asks her, "Can you see him right now?"
Oh, no mental health professional would do that.
And then he airs this on television for entertainment.
So disgusting.
My opinions are very conflicted on the John Benet Ramsey case, but he famously brought Burke Ramsey on in 2016 and claimed that Burke was smiling too much, which anything that doctor says definitely totally fucks with people's reputation. People trust him. It's so wild. Mama June, she's the mother of Honey Boo Boo, who I think was on the pedophile show, Toddlers and Tiaras.
Yep. She had her own show for a while, Honey.
Yeah, Here Comes Honey Boo Boo. Yeah. So she appeared in 2014 to discuss why. I think she had her own show. There was Here Comes Honey Boo Boo, and then there was a Mama June's coming up because she lost a bunch of weight and TLC capitalized on it or some fucking shit like that. I don't know.
Gross like that.
Yeah. And she goes on Dr. Phil to talk about how her daughter was molested by a man that she had been involved with. And that's why the show was canceled. So my problem here is fucking say whatever the fuck you want about your poor judgment, lady. Why the fuck are you putting your daughter's sexual abuse on fucking television? Are you out of your mind? Are you all out of your fucking minds?
Yeah, and that's such a huge degree with a show like that. And it's not before internet days, so it's going to get picked up and shared, not as much as it would today, but it's so much re-victimization for that girl.
Dude.
Ugh.
First of all, a lot of times victims don't even want to tell their own stories. Nevertheless, do they want their fucking another person telling it on national TV? Not only that, but the fucking person who did not protect that from happening to them. You piece of fucking shit human.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not her story to tell.
No, it is absolutely not.
Not at all.
So she can go fuck herself.
Yeah.
Fucking piece of fucking shit, Mama
It would be
June.
different if like it was a well-known thing by everybody and she went to like say like, hey, we're not going to talk about that. We're handling it, respect our privacy, and like do that. But that's not what this was, clearly.
And it might have been a known thing, but for her to go on his fucking show and to expand on it. I'm sorry, who's winning here? What are you getting out of this? Because I know your daughter's not getting anything. So what are you getting? Some more fucking airtime, you cunt? Ugh. Also, Kim Richards from The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills came onto the show and he just like fucking was like, surprise intervention. That is so insane to do to someone on television.
In front of a studio audience.
Oh, and also a lot of the times when he has the kids kidnapped in the middle of the night by the TTI, they film it just to make it like really extra traumatic for the child.
I did see that clip and it's awful.
Also, Nick Gordon, who is the boyfriend of Bobby Christina Brown, you know, Whitney Houston, Bobby Brown's child, she tragically died in 2015 after passing out in a hot tub where Gordon was also present. He was later found responsible in a civil suit and ordered to pay $36 million to her estate. So he's already gone through a lot, you know. He appeared on the Dr. Phil shortly after her death in 2015. He was clearly upset, under the influence, and trigger warning for unaliving if you want to skip 30 seconds. He was clearly upset, under the influence, and threatened to unalive himself. And then he passed away at the age of 30 from a heroin overdose. He also brought on Bam Margera from Jackass, who was having a mental breakdown and contemplating unaliving himself.
Ugh.
And let's throw this on TV. Great entertainment.
So that someday when you're like out of that danger, hopefully you are, and then you're having a low moment and happen to run into a rerun where you're talking about it, let's just re-traumatize everybody.
And let's just like, how are you feeling?
Yeah.
Oh, you're in an insanely low, vulnerable moment. Great. Tell me more about that. I'm going to put that on TV.
Yeah.
Loving it.
Like TV is not the right spot for this.
No. And if you actually gave any tidbit of a single bit of a shit of anybody's mental health, like whatsoever at all, you would not be like a sliver of the person that he is.
I have to wonder how much actual like mental health practice he did prior to becoming like a TV personality, because it doesn't sound like that was actually anything he ever did, like, or that he was.
You think this fucker has spent a day of therapy in his life?
No,
he's perfect in his mind. What would he have to work through? He's amazing.
No,
he's
I mean,
saving the world.
As a therapist, like, I wonder if he spent any time as a therapist, not being.
I misunderstood, but I also was like, most therapists go to therapy because,
yeah.
like good ones, because they usually have their own shit because they're people, and taking on a lot of other people's emotional stuff as a career is a lot, you know? So
yeah,
I doubt he's spent much time in a therapy office on either fucking side of the room, to be honest. Do you remember Cash Me Outside? How about it?
No. What?
Cash Me Outside. How about it?
No.
Okay. Her name was Danielle Bregoli, although she's now known as Bad Bobby, and she's a millionaire, so good for her. But the episode was called I Want to Give Up My Car-Stealing, Knife-Wielding, Twerking 13-year-old Daughter Who Tried to Frame Me for a Crime.
That was the name of the episode?
It's not totally clear if that was like the name of the episode or...
That's just like the little thing that appears at the bottom when they're on.
Yeah, the description or whatever, you know? And the audience is like booing her. And so she says to the whole audience, Cash me outside. How about that? Like,
oh, yeah.
I'll fight all of you, essentially, you know?
Yeah.
And it was like a big meme, and I was laughing at the time. It's 2016. I was like, this girl's crazy. But he was like, you have to send your out of control teen to Turnaround Ranch.
Oh,
that's what's gonna...
It's a ranch, so I'm assuming with that name, it's a TTI facility.
Yeah, and a wilderness
therapy
TTI
facility.
Yeah. So there is no facility in Wilderness.
Oh, is this the one where they're like building their own facility?
No, like you just hike through the desert.
Oh.
For miles and miles, and like you set up camp at night and like sleep on sticks, and you catch lizards to eat, and
excellent.
You're generally pretty emaciated, dehydrated, absolutely suffering from medical neglect, overexhausted and intense heat. Good stuff. Boys died there in 2005 and 2009 of heat exhaustion, and Dr. Phil sent her there in 2016 and other teenagers before that, with this being very public information.
I'm sure he was getting a kickback.
Oh, dude, I'm sure he's getting a fucking kickback because he has like 17 different facilities that he recommends.
And you remember from the program, the parents would get free money for basically getting other people to send their kids there. So I'm sure he's getting kickbacks for this.
Absolutely. There's so much fucking money in the TTI. It's insane. So in 2021, she posted a YouTube video demanding an apology from Dr. Phil about the abuse that her and all of the other kids received at Turnaround Ranch. She said that there was physical and mental abuse, malnourishment, taking away of basic necessities, forced labor. She witnessed a fucking murder. Clay Brewer tried to escape the grounds in 2016 and killed a staff member in the process. No one was offered any treatment or therapy to discuss what they had witnessed after the event.
Wow.
Dr. Phil passed the blame to the parents and the facility. Allegedly, he was also the one who extended her stay from 100 days to 6 months.
It's like almost double the time.
You know what? I actually don't. Okay. Turnaround Ranch actually isn't a wilderness facility. It's just a ranch where they work outside a lot. It's a lot of manual labor.
But he does have wilderness ranches on his like list of facilities.
He does.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he is into
both
wilderness, quote, therapy. Bergoli is now teaming up with others, including Paris Hilton, to help spread awareness about the TTI. And like I said, she's a multimillionaire for making music, which is, what she's doing, and good for her.
Good for her.
Hannah Archuleta tried to sue Dr. Phil for negligence after she was sent to Turnaround Ranch after she was on the show in 2019. The family was pressured to immediately send her to the ranch after the show and was assured that she would be safe and well cared for. Hannah says that she was sexually assaulted on 2 separate occasions by an employee at Turnaround Ranch.
Oh my God.
Her suit was dismissed in 2022, and Dr. Phil then countersued her for $400,000 to compensate for his legal fees.
Ugh, did he win?
I don't know. There's a lot of suing going on in the world of Dr. Phil. Usually going against him is fruitless. Ew, that's so like Handmaid's Tale. Purposeless. I don't know. It doesn't do anything. He's too powerful. Ugh, gross. Turnaround Ranch is a behavior modification program founded in 1989, and it's for kids aged 13 to 17. And whether your kid has diabetes or autism, they'll take them in.
Ugh.
They'll take them off your hands. So, also, there's no pricing listed on the website as the services are highly personalized, but there is a guarantee that if you aren't happy with their service, you can send your child back for a 30-day refresher course at any time.
Ew, they put like a money back guarantee or like a retry clause, like you had bought a car that you didn't like, so now you're going to just go buy a different car.
You know what? I don't like the paint job you guys did on this. I'm going to need you to paint it again.
Oh, God. I hate it so much.
So it's fun because parents can just hold the threat of hell over their kid's head. If you're bad, we'll send you back.
If you're doing that, you don't deserve to parent that child. Sorry, not sorry. Actually, just the not sorry part.
Yeah, it's really fucking intense because the industry is incredible at manipulating parents. But you know what? Sorry, not sorry here. A simple Google of Turnaround Ranch brings up a lot of Google reviews, 250. Actually, it's a good chunk. The average rating is 2.1. If you send your child away to a facility that's supposed to take care of them and they have 2 out of 5 stars, bitch, I won't even watch a movie with 2 stars because I'm not trying to waste an hour and a half of my life.
I won't even take my kids to a playground facility that has less than like 4.5 stars. And that's because it's usually about like, it's not safe. It's dirty. Like, no.
I understand that the TTI is insanely manipulative and it's really good at conning parents and it's cult-like, but like, do a fucking Google. If you send your kid to Turnaround Ranch, like, suck my fucking dick. Use Google. It's 2024. Whatever. We've been in the 20s for like a while now, 2000s. Like, get your shit together. Ugh. There are so many testimonials from parents and survivors saying, like, don't send your kid to this torture factory. Level 1 is called Impact. You get to sleep on a wooden bed with no mattress or pillow. They don't even do that in prison. Level 2, you get to work around the clock, and then you get to earn the right to talk to other people during group therapy. That's highly manipulative.
Excellent.
Then level 3, it's called the Barn. At this stage, you earn the right to get a visit with your parents. You also get a horse to take care of, which it sounds like the best possible thing that happens here. It's also a lot of work, and you get to do the more work that comes with the horse. And in that level, because it's run by Mormons in Utah, you're required to start attending church services. So they're going to convert your kid too.
Right. I always love when we call child torture under the name of God.
Oh, they'll also take your gay child for conversion therapy.
Mm-hmm. I can't.
Mm-hmm. And then level 4, the Barn Solo, consists of you spending days alone in a remote, isolated cabin. So just some isolation for shits and gigs. Good stuff. He also has about 16 other facilities that he works with, and West Wind Recovery Centers has an entire section that states that they are a Dr. Phil preferred partner.
Oh, that's like saying we're a Satan preferred partner. But actually, Satan might be a cooler guy. I've heard he's pretty chill.
Honestly, like, yeah, that's a whole other thing.
Ugh.
So if you're familiar at all with the Natalie Holloway case, you know, these brothers, Deepak and Satish Kalpoe, were under suspicion for a while. Now they know that Jordan Vandersloot is literally one of the worst pieces of shit to ever walk this earth. And I hope that like every bad fucking thing in the world that could possibly happen to a person, I absolutely wish it on him. You guys, listen to the Natalie Holloway episode. It's really fucked up. But like this man, he's worse than Satan. He's worse than Dr. Phil. I really hate Dr. Phil, but Jordan Vandersloot is subhuman. But these brothers, Deepak and Satish, were suspects. And they went on Dr. Phil's show to discuss her case. And it was suggested heavily on the show that they were responsible. It featured a recording that a ton of people thought was like a fucking absolute nail in the coffin confession. There was footage which featured audio of, you know, a private investigator who had been hired by the show and a conversation with Deepak, and they allegedly altered portions of the recording to make it sound as if
he was confessing to murder, basically.
To something.
Yeah.
Confessing to something. The brothers allege that this basically ruined their reputations and lives, and Dr. Phil called for people to boycott Aruba as a whole.
Yep.
Which greatly affected their economy.
Yeah, like ruined their tourism economy for a while.
Yeah, so that's cool, Dr. Phil. Yeah. He was also sued by several other guests for a multitude of reasons, including emotional distress and even alleged sexual assault. The show ended last year in January of 2023. He stated, quote, "I'm compelled to engage in a broader audience because I have grave concerns for the American family, and I am determined to help restore a clarity of purpose as well as our core values," which sounds like some wild dictator shit. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about.
Yeah.
But the show kind of became a subject of controversy during COVID over some of the things he had to say. He said that the fallout from them closing down public facilities was going to last for years and ruin people's lives. He was like, it's smoking and swimming pools and poverty and car accidents. That's what's killing people, not COVID.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
he was basically one of those people that were like, you're being paranoid by shutting down places, and shutting everything down is hurting more people than COVID, the disease killing 800,000 plus people in under a year. That's not really a threat.
It's swimming pools killing people, Fallon. Get it together. And car accidents.
Yeah, those things do kill people. Yes, people die in those ways as well. But like, just one of those people that was riding the whole, you're being paranoid about this silly little disease train.
Yeah, it's not that that's what was killing people, but they were like writing down COVID on the death certificate just to like inflate things. And but in 21 seasons, he was able to put 3,500 episodes of utter bullshit out into the world. So that's good stuff.
Yeah, busy.
He started his own media company called Merritt Street Media, where he's going to be apparently doing live morning and evening news broadcasts. So you can probably trust that about as much as Fox.
Mm-hmm.
He's also going to have an entire true crime lineup, including, get these, gems such as Cops and Nancy Grace.
Oh, excellent. I bet you he's also going to do a whole lot of victim blaming research on that show too.
Oh,
I'm sure that's his absolute fucking MO.
Duh. The latest controversy was in February of this year, so just last month.
He's been busy already.
Where he stated on The View, which is also a hot pile of garbage show, that, quote, children suffered the most from the mismanagement of COVID, and that children didn't die during COVID.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 100% false.
That's still the hill that he's dying on. And look out for his media company, you guys, if you want some
super biased, awful garbage TV.
Yeah. And that's Dr. Phil, Fallon.
Jesus Christ, I didn't know it was that bad.
I know, right?
Ugh. I thought maybe it was going to be like he profited off of weight loss drugs and like maybe occasionally he acted problematically, like maybe a money scandal or something, but I didn't think it was going to be like that.
Oh, he
bullshit
acted
level.
Problematically from like get-go
birth,
to
probably.
Still, like he's still out there being extremely problematic. So
Jesus. I was not ready.
No, I was like, when I was researching this, I was just like, how the fuck have I not covered this before? This man is a monster. Like, he is the human version of fucking used old douchebag.
Allegedly.
Gross. Allegedly. Mm-hmm. Don't come for me, Merritt Street Media. Well,
that was fun.
That was fun. Thanks for listening, you guys.
That was real as fuck.
And real fucked up. So, oh my gosh, one more time. Like, happy fucking anniversary, TSFU. Happy million downloads to us.
What?
Happy million downloads anniversary to us. So, you guys, like, follow us on Instagram just, to see what we're up to. Because, we put up specials about Patreon and we put up info about what's coming out, occasionally some funny memes and shit. So, TSFU, the podcast, throw an @ in front of that for sure,
And then TSFUthepodcast.com, Patreon. We got an awesome Patreon with access to a ton of episodes you can't get on our regular feed.
Yes. And there's even a free version if you're like, ooh, $5 a month. That's risky. Even though that $5 a month comes with a shout out, a thank you card, stickers, early release on episodes, ad-free episodes, exclusive monthly episodes, and a thank you card and 10% discount on merch.
And the merch is cool as fuck.
Oh, and exclusive monthly hangout sessions. But if you're like, whoa, $5, I don't know. There's a free version.
Yeah.
So patreon.com/TSFU. Also just TSFUthepodcast.com. Click play with us. And there's a link to our Discord, which is totes free to join. And I'm like often using it as like Twitter or something, just like tweeting my thoughts out all day, mostly talking to myself.
No. And actually, there's lots of other super cool peeps in there.
No, there is.
And they are also tweeting out their thoughts to themselves. So
everybody's like, Twitter is not a thing anymore.
It's a wild ride, y'all.
I'm not going to call it X or Threads, though. Okay, so
I'm not going to call anything. Anyway,
No.
Well, that was fun.
Well, smack my ass and call me Sally. That was wild. Let's get out
I
of here.
will not.
We love you guys. Hugs and kisses. XOXO, Gossip Girls. Just kidding. Well, listen, that was all alleged. So, Gossip Girls, we're out.
We love you guys, allegedly.
Yeah. Bye.
Bum 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 bum. That's fucked up. So fucked up. Can't you see? It's just really fucked. That's fucked up.